This
great.
conference will now be recorded.
Perfect. All right, I'm just pulling up a few screens here. Did you have a good Thanksgiving?
I did. How about you?
I did. It was great. It was
Went by
nice
too
and warm.
fast.
And then last night, I think I told you I'm in Utah. We got about 6 inches last night, so
Nice.
starting to get cold. How about you
Yeah.
guys? Any snow yet?
No, it's actually about 53 degrees here today.
No way.
Yeah, it's
Wow,
beautiful.
that is really warm.
Yeah. Do you ski?
I do. I love to ski.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yep, it's coming. Okay. Do you ski as well?
I don't, but I would like to start.
It's so fun. I've never gone snowboarding. I've heard that it's easier to learn to ski, but snowboarders say snowboarding's more fun,
I
obviously.
know. That's what I've heard. My husband snowboards and he says the same thing.
Yeah, I would love to learn too. I know it's a lot of falling, so I have to
Yeah.
prepare myself for that. All right, well, great. So, I think let's just start with questions and reviewing what we went over last time. I know it's been a couple of weeks, so um, we can do any sort of review or any questions that you want to go
Okay.
over before we get into the new stuff today.
Okay. Well, I lost you. I don't see anything on my screen, so let me just see if I can
Oh,
bring it back up.
okay. Should be sharing my screen here. Let me try again. Are you seeing my screen okay? I just have the training sheet pulled up here.
No, I don't see anything.
Weird. Okay, let's
Let
see.
me see if I hold on. If I click on this. Okay, I'm good.
Oh, good.
Now I
Okay.
see. Yep.
Great. So last time we went through the portal walkthrough, showed you the reseller guides page, and then we looked at the general tab and company admin and how to add users.
Yes.
So any questions, any review on that you want to go over?
No, I think I did. I was able to add. I put my brother in just as a fake person, so I was able to do that. So that seemed pretty good.
Okay, perfect. I did want to, there were a couple of things that I wanted to show you just in addition to those topics. So the first one is user admin levels. So if you remember on an individual user's page, down at the bottom, there's a permissions um,
Y-
box.
Yeah.
What I'm talking about, I can go there if we want.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me just go to here really fast. I'll go to my page. So on an individual user's page, down at the bottom, there's permissions.
Yes.
And we have these different levels here. So I actually created an admin levels document. So just for you to know what the different levels mean and what they have access to.
Okay.
Just a small like summary guide. So
Oh, that's
we
great.
have the reseller guides, the company admins, and nobody really is designated as a company admin. It's very similar to a reseller guide. We
Okay.
just created this for like CEOs or people who want really hands-on access to the portal. So I don't know if anybody that I work with on site, I don't know if I've designated any of them as a company admin. I
Okay.
have some test users that are, but most people that I work with, on-site coordinators or the HR contact or anybody like that, I have designated as an on-site coordinator.
Okay.
And this just means they have aggregate data. They don't have any individual PHI.
Okay.
They have access to a few different tools specifically for them. And then we have rewards admins and coaching admins.
Okay.
So I'll send this guide over to you. It's sometimes helpful just to have a breakdown of each of the different levels.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah, and then just jumping to something else, I also put together a little guide on the steps of how to set up a program. And as we go through the training, we'll be checking all of these boxes. So this is just sort of a condensed version of the training sheet here,
Okay.
more in depth. But as you're setting up programs, this will be really helpful to make sure that you hit all of the really crucial things as you're setting things up. So I'll send this to you as well, and you can
Okay.
sort of follow along as we go through each of the different tools. Um, yeah, so I'll send this
Awesome.
over. And then let's see, what else did I have? Registration. Oh, yes. So within each of your child companies, you'll want a test user, like we talked about
Yep.
last time.
Yep.
And you'll need to register each of the test users, so it can be a little bit confusing because you have your admin user and then you have your test users, and they also have to be registered as a regular user. So just a note there, you can only use your email one time in the system. So for all of my users, I just create a fake email using the company name or something. And a trick here is if you want to, I'm going to go to my test company. If you want to create a dummy email so that you can register using the date of birth, just the test date of birth that you put in,
Yep.
all you have to do is, let's do test at EIN-WellSteps.com. So if you do the EIN before WellSteps, the system will recognize that it's a dummy email and it will let you register using the date of birth. You won't have to verify any emails and you can just use that test email for all of your testing.
I actually did that for my test one.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I can't remember if I told you that already.
You know what? I don't remember if you did either, but I just did it.
Oh, great. That's perfect. Yeah, so this is what I use for most of my test users just because I don't have that many emails set up. You can also do email forwarders. So for a lot of my companies, I'll just set up a forwarder from like the company name at wellsteps.com to my email. So that's something else you could do as well.
Okay.
I think that was all I had as far as the last. Oh, the recording page is up. I've the first session posted.
Yes, I started watching it again. I'm definitely going to watch the whole thing again just to make sure I'm really clear.
Perfect. Okay. Sounds good. And if there's anything going through that I didn't explain well or that you'd like more clarification on, just let me know.
Okay, I will.
Definitely do any review as we need to. So, okay, I think that was all I had as far as the last session. Any other questions? Any review? Okay.
No.
Sounds good. Well, let's just jump right in then. So for today, we're going to go over the landing page first. We got one created for you just as a test. And then we can create as many other landing pages as you'd like for your companies. We'll go over PFP, biometrics, the emailer, and campaign. So hopefully we can get to all of that. If not, we'll just go as far as we can.
Okay.
So going to the landing page, we did, it's wellsteps.com/BIFCT.
Okay.
So if you go there right now, you should see a green button in the corner. This will give you access to edit the page. So will you check on that for me quickly, and if you don't have access, I'll make sure that we get you access to edit.
Okay, wellsteps.com/ okay. Hold on, let me just.
BIFCT. Did I zoom in on my screen or can you see it okay?
I can see it on your screen, yeah.
Okay. I can zoom in a little bit if it's showing small. Yeah, so there should be a green bar over on the right side.
Okay, hold on.
When you go there. You might need to be logged in to see the bar.
Okay.
So maybe log in first to your admin account and then go to the page.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so I am logged in. So then where do I go to find the page?
So you just go, now that you're logged in, you can just open a new tab and go in the same browser and go over here. So as long as you're logged in as your admin user, if you go in the same browser to the landing page, you should be able to edit. And Liz and Nancy, you guys should have, they should have access to edit too. So when you watch this, if you don't have access, let me know and I'll get you guys access as well.
Okay, hold on. What was the website again? WellSteps?
So it's wellsteps.com/BIFCT.
Okay.
Is it pulling up okay?
It's just bringing me to the WellSteps training.
Oh, is it going?
Yeah, it's just automatically
loading. Yeah, so the training page is BIFCT dash training.
Dash training, yeah.
Just.
Let's see. Okay, so I am on it, and there is no green button on the right side.
Okay, does it say you were logged in, return to dashboard?
Yes.
Okay, sounds good. So I will make sure you have access to that after this. Okay, so we'll just go on my screen then, and I'll show you everything
Okay.
here. And I'll let you know when you have access to edit. All right, so if you look at my screen, this is what you should see. There's a little green button right here. And we just pulled a template from another landing page. So we have your title right here. All of this, everything that's below this bar here can be customized.
Okay.
Except for this part at the very bottom. And
Yep.
we can also remove this logo at the top. And I'll show you how to do that in
Okay.
Company Admin.
Okay.
But other than that, everything that you see on this page is customizable. So in order to edit, you just click on the green bar and click on edit. And once you click edit, it will check out the page. So no matter what, even if you don't make any edits, always click either save or cancel, and that will check the page back in so that somebody else can edit it.
Okay.
What happens is if you click edit and then just click out of the page without saving or canceling, when you go back to the page, instead of saying edit over here, it will say checked out, and you won't be able to go to the edit bar. So just make
Okay.
sure that you save or cancel every time you go in.
Every
So
time.
this
Okay.
will open, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So this will open the editor box, and these boxes are the editor ones that are found all over the admin menu. So we're going to go in depth into this today and all of the tools that are available to you.
Okay.
And how to edit, how to add in media and images and files and all of that.
Okay.
Thing is the title, and this title is what's showing on the picture bar right here. So if you want to make edits there, you can do that in this bar, in the title bar. And then the rest of these tabs I've never done anything in, so I've only worked in content ever. That should probably be the tab you'll need to use. And then you can see the page layout here. So starting at the top, you can, of course, customize this as you'd like. We usually put a welcome message, the logo, so we can change out the logo here. And let's go now. I'm going to zoom in and we can go through how to add in images.
Okay.
So, well, I'll go through the bars first, I guess. So you have the editor functions. You can do alignment.
Yep.
So you have an alignment once there. These are different styler things.
Yep.
Functions. So there's that. If you are copying and pasting in from another document, we recommend pasting as plain text because otherwise it might pull in formatting that you don't want. So even if it appears correctly here, if you copied and pasted right into the editor box, there could be hidden formatting in the code that you don't see, but that will appear for the user. So in order to paste as plain text, there's a little clipboard with a T right here. And if you hover over it, it will say paste as plain text. So you'll just copy or paste right into the box and insert. And that will enter the text without any formatting. And then you can go in and put in the formatting that you want using the CSS styler right here. So that's font, color, size, all of that.
Okay.
And if you want to clear or remove formatting from any text, you'll just use the
Okay.
You'll have the eraser and the paste as plain text and the CSS styler.
Okay.
So that's for text. There's also, if you want to do bullets, you should have the numbered and bulleted lists right here.
Okay.
And you can decide how you want those to appear. There's also an indent function. So if you don't want to use bullets, but just want an indented list, so for example, right here, you'll see bullets, and then you can do indent or outdent right there.
Okay.
And then you have the copy and paste functions. Let's see what else you might need. If you want to toggle the full screen mode, so it just, as the editor box appears right now, it's sort of half screen, but this little full screen mode you can click on and it will expand the editor. And then you just click back out to go back to the previous view. So this is kind of nice if you want just a wider view of what you're looking at.
Okay.
And then there's a lot of table functions. I've never actually used these, and I'm not sure if they appear in your editor, but you can play around with them if they do. I usually don't have any tables to add. I just usually do like text editors and adding media. And then So for these lines here, there's a little line function, so you can add a horizontal ruler just to break up the sections that you want to add.
Okay.
And then we get to the media editors. So let's go to this logo. And when you click on something that's linked to within our internal server, it will highlight the function that was used to enter it.
Ah,
So
yep.
in this case, you'll see the little image editor is highlighted. So we're going to click on that. And clicking on this will take you into our file server. So this is where you can upload all of the documents that you'll be linking to on the landing page or within the program center. You can link to any images. You can enter videos. Sometimes the video files are really large. So if there's a video that you want to be saved on our server, then you can just send it to me and I'll have my team enter it into your folder for you.
Okay.
But when you click on that, you should see, I think you might just see your Bongiovanni
Yep.
folder. I'm not sure if you'll see all of them, but any of the documents that you want to add in here, you can do that, your logo, all of that. You can also create, so you can create subfolders in here, just click on your folder and then new folder. You can
Okay.
also create a separate folder for all of your child companies if you want. So you can either do that within the folder that I created for you or just in the home page. You can create a new folder here so it will appear in the master list. So whatever you'd like to do, or you can just put all of your files into your folder.
Okay.
And then to upload, you'll just click on the upload cloud and then you can browse from your own server for the files that you want to upload. For images, you have the option when you upload to resize them right within the uploader. I don't really know picture sizes off the top of my head, so a lot of times I have to just manually resize once I've uploaded, so that's something you can do as well.
Okay.
So you upload in there, and then, let's see, I'll upload, I think I have a logo for you. Let's see. Oh, maybe not. Let's see. I'll just upload. Let me go to one where I can show you what it looks like when you select.
Okay.
Okay, so this is a folder that has some images in it. So once you upload your image, you'll just click on it to select it, and it will pop up a little preview of the image there. And then
Okay.
you have some different options up here. So you'll see the dimensions, and this is a huge photo, so you can trim it down if you want. Or as you can see when I highlighted the other one, it gives you the corner editor,
Right.
so you can drag it and resize it as you'd like. You can also set it to align differently on the page.
Mm-hmm.
So if you entered something, an image, and it's not looking centered or it's not looking how you want, you can resize it on the page, or you can also come in here and select a different alignment function.
Okay.
And this should center it within the editor. So I use the alignment one a lot. And then there's a few different things here, those are more detail oriented. So anyway, the ones that I use the most are the alignment, the dimensions, and then just make sure that you click on the file to select it and then update.
Okay.
There are also some functions over here. So if you accidentally upload the wrong file or something, you can delete. You can rename any of your files. You can copy them, cut, view, create a thumbnail, or edit the image. So you have a bunch of different functions right here for the image adder. And then, yeah, any questions on adding images?
No, that's pretty good.
Okay, great. Then you just click update. So yeah, like you can see here, I can drag to resize this.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, and then, so let's do videos next. So there's a couple of different options for adding videos. You can either add in or embed a video so that the video player appears right on the page, or you can link to it within text.
Okay.
So, for example, if we're going to be adding an MP4 video, I could just come in here and you select what type your video is. So if I want it to be a Windows file, I'll do that. And then I think there's one in this folder. The MP4s that we add usually have to be added by our team on the back end since the files are so large. So if you have any MP4s that you want added and they won't upload, just send them to me like I was saying earlier.
Okay.
So since this is an MP4, I'm just going to embed it straight into the page. And I don't have any text that it's linking to or anything.
Okay.
So then I'll just insert the video. Now you can also do a YouTube video, and then you'll just enter the URL here, copy and paste it in. You can also align, just like with images, you can align where the video is appearing on the page. So you can do center or left, right. You can also do the dimensions of the video box layer that's appearing. And then if you're doing a YouTube video, for media options, you can do show suggested or not. And this, at the end of the YouTube videos, you know how it pops up that bar where it shows
Yes.
suggested videos? You can remove that by unchecking that box there for YouTube.
Oh, nice. That's good.
And then the last one is, if you're entering a video to link to within a bar of text. So for example, if I wanted this to be linked to a video, I could highlight that, click on video, and then I select my video type, and either select it from here or enter the URL. And then over in this pop-ups tab, there's a function that says ACE Media Box Pop-up. And that just means that when the user clicks on the link, instead of taking them to a whole new page, it will just pop up. It will sort of darken the screen just like this, and we'll pull up the video player like on top of the screen, if that makes sense.
Yes, that does.
Yeah. Yes, so that's an option for linking to the video within text. Yeah, any questions on video?
No, I mean, that's great.
Okay, perfect. Okay, two more. The next one is files. So this one's super straightforward. You typically will be linking to a document within text, so usually you'll just highlight it and then click on the function. And this is just the same exact thing. Go to your folder, upload the document that you want, and then select it. You can do PDFs, Word documents, all of that. And when you select your file, it will say replace the file link text with the file name. Usually we want the text that we have typed, so we'll say no there. And then you can designate if you want the document to open in the current window or to open in a new window. And typically, just for user ease, I'll just put open in a new window. So that it'll keep the tab open, and then it'll just pop up a new window in your browser with the document.
Okay.
You can also do resizing and some stuff there, and then you have the same options over on the right here. So that's adding in a document, pretty straightforward. And then the last one is the link bar. So if you want to insert a website link, you'll just click on that. You can add in the URL at the top.
Okay.
And then just like with documents, down here in Target, you can select open in the current window, open in a new window, all of that. So usually for links and documents, I'll do open in a new window. Just a little bit more user-friendly that way. Well, I don't know. I guess it might be personal preference for me. I always get annoyed when it opens in the same one. I like to
I do too. I do too.
Yeah. And then if you are linking to, you can also do a video within the link bar and do the same media pop-up here. So if it's a YouTube video, you could use this. I typically like to use the video file just because it knows that it's YouTube. You can select it from the dropdown. But yeah, so those are the 4 media options.
Okay.
Any questions on those?
No.
Okay.
I think I'll learn, I'll learn it more as I do it when I actually go in and practice and do it for myself,
Yeah, definitely. Okay. And there, you might have 2 different editor things here. I always just use this one. I'm not sure why there are 2 on the editor box, but anyway, you can just use the one with the star, whichever one.
Okay.
Okay, I think that takes care of the editor. So there's all those functions there. And then on your landing page, we did insert an application for registration right from the page.
Yeah,
so
I like
you'll
that.
see in the editor, yeah. So this right here, from where it says open bracket Jumi over to registration close bracket, this can't be edited since this is the application itself, which we'll put in the registration box. But this text to log in and all of that over to this closed bracket, this can all be edited. So you can put in your custom registration information with specific username information or whatever you'd like to put there.
Okay.
So yeah, this part over to the closed bracket can be edited. Let's see. These link to WellSteps pages currently, but they can all be relinked. So
Okay.
if you like to change the wording here, I think, yeah, we say wellness app here instead of WellSteps app. This will take you to the WellSteps app page, which just directs users to either go to Google Play or the Apple Store. Have how this works videos about the tools, and then this will link to the WellSteps privacy policy page. So this actually might be the one that you'll want to change out of the three of these.
Okay.
If you have your own privacy policy,
Yep.
you can do it. And you can see highlighted here, it goes over, so you can break the link for that image if you want, and then add in a different link or add in a document if you want there.
Okay.
Yeah, and then
How do you change the little image in there?
oh, good question. So you can go in
Delete.
the image and go into your folder, upload a new image, select
Okay.
what you want to replace it with, and then update.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's super easy. All of these can be changed, these images down here.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's the editor box.
Cool.
There is a code option here. I don't know if you ever work with HTML code.
I'm gonna say not so much.
Yeah, I can't read code, but sometimes, well, we'll talk about this with the emailer, but sometimes it's nice to be able to copy and paste the code because the code has all of the formatting
Right.
already embedded in it. So we'll talk about this a little bit more when we go to the emailer, but this code function is available for all of our editor boxes.
Okay.
And you might end up using it a little bit. So anyway, yeah, so that's an in-depth look at editor. Any questions on that? It is, like you said, it's nice to go in and actually play around with it, and then you
Yeah.
can find out what you have
No,
questions on.
all made good sense.
Okay, sounds good. So now I'm going to cancel so we can check the page back in. And every time you either save or cancel, it will take you back to your home admin page, and then you can just change the URL, see the changes that you made. So if
Okay.
you made any changes, a bar will appear here and it will say successfully saved.
Okay.
One more thing on the landing page, there's a way to add in the URL to company admin so that it removes this WellSteps logo. So let's look at that next. So over in Manage Companies, we're going to go to Bongiovanni page in the General tab. So this is down in the first section in Company. It says Welcome URL page, so
Okay.
landing page URL. Now, if you add it with a slash, this will keep the WellSteps logo. But if we remove this dash and just have the text that comes after the slash, then it should remove the logo. So let me go back here and refresh, and we should see the logo removed now. Yep.
Oh,
So
wow. Okay.
without the slash, no WellSteps logo. With the slash, logo.
Okay.
And if we create separate landing pages for your child companies, it'll be the exact same way. You'll just enter it into their company admin page here, or you can just use this URL for all of your child companies.
Okay. Is there any way to add a different logo there? Like if we wanted to put our own?
I don't think so, since this template includes WellSteps up here.
Okay.
I'll check on that though.
Okay.
I'll see if we can add it. Typically, we'll add all of the specific logos
Down
in
lower.
this section, but
Yeah.
yeah, let me check though. That's a
Okay.
good question. I've never heard that. Okay, let's see. Logo.
I think the only reason we may want to do something like that is because our wellness department is going to be like a branch of Bongiovanni Insurance and Financial. It's going to have its own logo.
Oh, got it. So you might have a couple of different things.
So we might want like it's called Be Well. So our Be Well logo will probably be our main logo, but somewhere else on the landing page we'll probably want Bongiovanni Insurance and Financial, like presented by or provided by, you know?
Yeah, okay. I'll see what we can do there. That's also something you could also have it small, do some
Yeah.
a little
Like a
bit.
tiny,
Yeah.
yeah.
Small logo and then do
Yeah, they could
Yeah,
both
the
be
next
down
thing is
below.
you have creative reign on this page since it's all customizable. So
Okay.
yeah, I'll check on that though for you. Definitely.
Thanks.
Yeah, okay. So we went through the editor. Okay. So now we're going to start going through each of the individual tools, starting with the personal health assessment.
Okay.
So let's go back to company admin. Oh, we're here already. Good. We went through the general tab. Now the next tab down is the PHA.
Yes.
And if you remember, checking off, oh, actually, maybe we didn't go through this, but checking off these boxes here, this that will turn on the different icons at the top of the program center.
Okay.
So it might seem like checking this off will turn on the PHA. There's actually a separate place within this tab to start a new PHA iteration. Checking the box will just turn on the assessment and screening tab.
Okay.
So we check that off. And now in your admin account, if you're logged in, if you refresh the page, you should see the assessment and screening tab at the top of the page.
Okay.
Oh yeah. And it will probably also appear once we actually turn on the PHA. Okay, so we'll go through the tab, and then have you had a chance to look at the WellSteps PHA yet?
I did, yes.
Okay, perfect. All right, so going through this tab, it will show at the top how many users have taken the PHA out of the total in the company.
Oh, cool.
And then there's a few different options that you have here. So the first one is to disable the invite question. If you have a company that's just employees only and isn't including spouses, then this is something that you'll want to check because it will remove that invite question out of the PHA.
Okay.
You can also disable any of the other questions that you'd like. So if you go down this list here, you'll see all of the different sections in the PHA. So if there are any that you want to remove, for example, maybe you want to remove the coaching one, which is, I think, behavior change. Oh no, ready to change, I think is the one. So if you want to, personal health coaching, there it is. So you can select from this list which questions you would like to hide from the PHA and then move them over to the hidden bar, and that will remove it from the PHA. And then if you want to move them back, you just switch them back over.
Okay.
And this actually won't change the order. It will just move them around on this list, but it won't change them within the order of the PHA.
Okay.
So in this way, it gives you a little bit of a customization option if you don't want to add any questions in or do any other big customizations of the PHA.
Okay.
If you do end up wanting to add in some custom questions, then we'll add in the number here, and there's a different way to add in those custom questions. So let me know, at this point, are you thinking you'll just use the WellSteps version as it is, or are you wanting to add a little bit to it?
I think for now we'll probably just keep it the way it is.
Okay, good. Just keep me posted on that, and we can
I will.
make changes as needed. All right, then there's a couple of email options. So just like the registration email in the general tab, if we select this email will send once the PHA has been completed. So you can enable the message here. There's a WellSteps email been pre-filled here.
That will send an email to me?
To the user.
Oh, to the user, okay, once it's completed.
Yeah, so just like the registration email, it sends to the user once they've successfully registered. The PHA email will send to them once they've completed the PHA. Yeah, so you can make any edits to this message that you'd like. We have some different macros that we use for the emails, and that's just, it's a bracketed, basically indicator for the system of what the text is and where it should go. And we have some different macros that can be used to pre-fill information. So for example, this is the name macro. So if you put name here, once it sends out to the company, it will fill this space with the individual user's name. So it's a nice way to sort of make things a little bit more individualized for users within emails. But you'll see the subject line here, we have the open and close subject brackets. So you can edit the subject line, you can change WellSteps to Bongiovanni Wellness, or whatever title you'd like there. Yeah. And then we have the email body between the message brackets. So you can edit any of this, add in any media, any of that you'd like, and then just click the green button to save.
Okay.
And then the same thing with the referral email. And this actually, the referral email goes along with the invite question. This is the email that gets sent to anybody who is invited to participate in the program by the invite question. So you won't have to worry about this if you've disabled the invite. Up here.
Okay.
Yeah, those two go together. And then again, this is just a pre-filled steps message, but you can edit that as you'd like.
Okay.
And then we get to the actual PHA. So this is where you will start and close PHA iterations. And with our WellSteps programs, we typically we'll do it along with the program year. So we'll do one PHA iteration per year.
Okay.
And our biometric data, it coordinates with each PHA iteration.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll do like different years of data. So when you're about to start a new PHA, you can either require users to take the PHA, and what this means is that when the user logs in after you start the new iteration, it will take them directly to the PHA, and they will have to take it before they get to the program center.
Okay.
If you have any groups that are only wanting to do biometrics, but they don't want to take the PHA, then you'll need to have a PHA iteration running in order to upload the biometric data. But if you don't want users to have to take the PHA, you'll just uncheck that box.
Okay.
So does that make sense, the distinction there?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So I'm going to start a new iteration for Bongiovanni. So you simply click on Start New, and then we'll take you back out the main page, and then you scroll down, and then it will show you the start date, if it's running, and the time. Now you have some options. So you can, when you're ready, you can close the PHA. And typically, just for reporting purposes, we always will close the PHA and start a new one on different days. So at least 24 hours apart, just because if you do it on the same date, then the reporting can get weird.
Okay.
Say at the end of your next program year, you want to close the current PHA iteration and start a new one. So you can close.
How often do you usually close and open a new one?
We typically do it on a yearly basis.
Just once a year.
It depends on the program as well. So, for example, with a school district, it might be September to June.
Got it. Okay.
People will do it like November to October or January to November or something like that.
Okay.
Typically, it'll just be an annual thing, though. So you can either reopen it. So this is nice in case there are certain deadlines that people need to meet. A lot of people will tie in taking the assessment with, insurance benefits or other things. So if there's a certain deadline and you want to close the iteration, but then maybe reopen it at a later time, you have the option to reopen, or you can start a new iteration. So I'm just going to reopen this iteration. And then you'll still see the start date. So you can close and reopen or start new and require or not require users to take it. Requiring users to take it, it won't send out any emails to them letting them know that it's open. It will just take them straight to the page once they log in.
Okay.
So no emails are prompted by starting a new iteration. And then in this section, this refers to PHA. So I'm going to log into my test account. Show you the report page. Okay, so in the assessment screening page, we have the report card, and there are a few biometric values that already appear on the report card, but we have the option to upload many more than just what are appearing on this page.
Okay.
So if there are some, if there are any biometric what word am I looking for? Values that you want to appear on the report card and in the aggregate report for the company, which we'll talk about when we talk about reports, then you can move them over from this list over into the exceptions. So these are it's a list of all of the other values that we have the option to upload for, but most of them aren't showing on the report card. So if you look at my screen, I think triglycerides actually is showing. Oh, but that's because I have the data uploaded for this user. So if you upload data, it will show for, and this is my test company too. So, I must have moved these over actually. Okay, so if you want triglycerides and A1C, waist to hip ratio, any of these that you want to show on the report card, you can just move them over. So it's just like with the questions up in the section above this, you just move them over.
Okay.
Okay, and then we won't worry about the biometrics for now. We'll come back to that. So any questions on this PHA tab?
No.
Great. Okay, let's see. So set up PHA, you've already taken the PHA, which is great. All right, now we have some admin functions available for the PHA. So let's go over to manage user admin. We looked at this briefly last time, but we'll go more in depth today. So for every user, there's a couple of different functions that you can use to either look at their current PHA, to reopen the PHA for them, and some other things.
Okay.
So if we go into the individual user's page and you scroll down, there's a PHA section. You can see how many times the PHA has been taken. You can see the most recent date that it was submitted and the timestamp. And we do have a little alternate questions link on the very first page of the PHA. And it's pretty subtle, but it's available for people who are really adamant about not taking it, or if companies really want that option to be there, then it's there. So opted out means that they clicked on the alternate questions and basically just asks for, I think, birthday and gender, and that's it. And that's for the screen reminder page. So that's what the opted out bar means. And then we have a couple of options. So if somebody has taken the PHA and maybe they email you and they say that they answered a question wrong or they want something to be changed, you can come into their page and click Show PHA on Login. And this will reopen the PHA so that the next time they log in, they'll be taken back to their PHA with all of their answers pre-saved.
Okay. So they can't change any of their data without first contacting me.
Right, essentially. There is a way to do it. You can actually access it from the URL, but this is more like on the admin side of things.
Right.
So you just do WellSteps personal health assessment and it will take you to your page. But the easy way to do it for the users is just to come in here and turn on their page. So they're not completely locked out of access, but we don't have a button that says take me back to my PHA.
Okay. My other question is,
oh, go ahead.
If they've taken it, say, like 6 times, like this person, does it just update it, or does it save 6 different PHAs, like a database?
So it will pull up the most recent iteration.
Okay.
And with our reporting system, you can actually look at each of the 6 iterations of data, but only the most current PHA iteration is what will pull up for the user. So they won't be able to see all of their 6 years worth of answers.
Okay.
Is that what you're asking?
Yes. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, so they'll just see their most recent information. Yeah, so when I have users that email me, I'll just come in here to their page and click Show PHA on Login, and then I'll email them back and say, okay, next time you log in, you can navigate to that question and change your answer and then resubmit.
Okay.
Really easy. If there, for whatever reason, if there are any users that you want to disable the PHA for, then you can check this box. And these two obviously can't be checked at the same time. So yeah, it will uncheck the other box if you try to check both. But disabling the PHA means that they can't access it even by going to this URL, which it's not really something that we like advertise that they can do by going to the URL there. But clicking disable PHA will remove that option even if they try to change it on the URL up here. So it just removes access completely for the user.
Is that something you use often?
No, I think we actually created this for another reseller. I think they had a PHA deadline date and they needed to disable the PHA after that date. So I think we just created it specifically for a reseller. I have actually never used this just because we always keep it open for all of my users. So typically I'll just use the Show PHA on Login for people who have answered incorrectly or want to change an answer.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so you can use that function there and then save. And so I think this is for the test user I'm logged in as. So now if I Oh, I think I have to log back out and then back in. But anyway, it should take the user straight to their PHA.
Okay.
And then there's a couple of other admin functions. So if we go back out, there's an options column right here. If we scroll down to my test user, so we have the copy login, that's to impersonate as the user or to masquerade as the user. And then we have a PHA function. And if you click on this, it will take you into the user's PHA with their pre-saved answers. So this is another, it's sort of a troubleshooting option and a customer service option. So for users, you can either do the show PHA on login function, or you can say, I'll go change the answer for you. And then you can come in here to the PHA tab for the user and go to the question, and maybe they want this to be 7. And then you can either
Update it for them.
Yeah, you can go back and it won't change the completion date, or you can scroll through and resubmit for a new completion timestamp. But that's just a way that we can go in and change things for the user. And it's also nice in case there happens to be any discrepancies within reporting, you can go directly to the user's PHA and see what they put, if something's not matching or any of that.
Okay.
So that's the PHA icon right here. And then you can also go straight to their assessment results page. So if I click on this, it will take me to the same exact page that I'm seeing here, but it just removes a step. So you don't have to open a new browser and copy and paste the login link there.
Right.
So this is the user's page. And this also gives you, as an admin, it gives you the option to view the biometrics that are uploaded without having to enter a code. Whereas the user, when they click on biometrics, they either have to get a code via email or text.
Okay.
Yeah, so those are the 2 admin functions for the PHA.
Cool.
Any questions on those 2?
Nope. Pretty good.
Great. Okay, I think, there's also one more, and this is down in MISC Utilities. And this will give you a way to change the PHA status for multiple users. So you can have a list of users that you want to show PHA on login for, or that you want to disable the PHA for. So if we go down to MISC Utilities, go to your company, and then it should, okay. This page has been recently updated. So, and I haven't been trained on this new tool yet. It's called the configurator. But just so you know, there's a way for you to change a large amount of users' PHA statuses, just like I was saying before, using this. I'm not sure how to do it yet, though. So once I'm trained on that, I will train you on that.
Okay.
Okay. So for now, just plan on going into the individual users page.
Okay.
But I'll keep you posted on that. I think I'm going to hear about that this week. So anyway, let's see. User admin, good. Okay. Any questions on the PHA?
Nope.
Admin questions? Great. All right. So now there are a couple of related tools. One is called Screening Reminder. And this is also turned on in managed companies, company admin. So I'm going to go to Bongiovanni. Also, all of these are new too, and I'm not sure what these do yet. So I'll post on that as well. I just noticed that today, actually. That's something new that got added. Okay. So Screening Reminder is a tool that you can turn on down here. And this is an icon that appears within the Assessment and Screening tab. So right over, right here. So Screening Reminder, this is the icon that will show up once you check the box. And this will use the birthday and gender of the user to recommend different screenings, annual screenings for the year.
Oh, nice.
We'll pull them up here and a description of what the screening is, and then it will give you some recommendations about what to talk to your healthcare provider about. I think we might have looked at this page last time. I remember telling you about the customizable part of this. So at the bottom, there's a little option to return the form. It sort of comes in form in case users need to print it, or in case you want to incorporate it into your program setup at all.
Yeah.
But we have the WellSteps return information here that you can edit within Company Admin.
Okay.
So I turned on the icon here, and then you can change the fax number and the return email.
Okay. Now they receive this reminder through email themselves, right?
They actually don't. All this does is it turn. Oh, actually, Yes, it will send them a reminder around their birthday, an email
Okay.
reminder. But it doesn't automatically send an email as soon as you turn on the tool.
So where are they seeing this reminder?
So this is in assessment and screening right here.
Okay. So they have to
Then
go in, they have to actually go into assessment and screening.
Right, and then click on the icon.
Okay.
I think within the PHA email, I think it mentioned something about screening reminder. Let me look. Oh, maybe not. And so for some of my groups, what we did was we put just a little note within the PHA completion email just to encourage users to check their screening reminder for the year. So that's something you can do. But then there is an auto email that goes out around the user's birthday.
Okay.
That will remind them to check on their screenings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, great question. Other than that, though, nothing else on that page is customizable. So this is how it will appear for the users. You'll have each of the sections. There's a more information bar, and then a little form section here.
Okay.
Any questions on that?
Nope. Good.
Great. That tool's super simple.
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's look at biometrics. So, like I was saying before, the biometrics that we upload are associated with our PHA iterations, and that's just done for reporting purposes and to keep all of the yearly data together in one place, since the PHA relates to biometrics and it asks users to self-report their biometrics.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see which one we want to go through first. I think we'll go through that last. So we have a biometric uploader, and like we were looking at before, when we upload the biometrics, they'll appear in assessment and screening, and this icon will pop up. So there's a couple of ways to upload data. You can either do a mass data upload with a file, or you can do individual biometrics within the user admin page. So let's go through the biometric uploader first if you have a large amount of data to upload. Just like the user upload, we have a template, an Excel template that we use. And let's see, I'll go through that first before we go over to the uploader. So you can download the biometric template over on the reseller guides page. And it's down under, I think we have a specific biometric tab. Let's see. Oh, also while I'm here, we have a paper version of the PHA in case you ever need that, and as well as the PHA key for all of our answers.
Okay.
So down a little bit more, we have, so it's under My Forms and Data Management. We have the biometric upload template, as well as our value ranges sources. And this lets you know how we determine the healthy versus unhealthy values that are uploaded.
Yep.
All right, so I downloaded the template. We open it up here. Oh, here we go. So here's what the template looks like. This first option is just about tobacco use. So if that's not something you're interested in reporting, it actually doesn't show on the user-facing side. It just shows in a specific report that we have. So I don't actually hardly ever use that function. Usually I'll just download the template and then delete those columns. And then you'll just have company username and then the different values listed out. So this is the format that you'll use to enter the data. And then we have more options over here. So we have triglycerides, and the ones that are highlighted in yellow are ones that are on that list that we looked at over in company admin. So we can upload them, but they won't show on the report card unless over here we move them over from this list. So all of those highlighted ones are the ones on this list. Yeah.
Okay.
And then there's a couple here with a note. So for example, waist and hip circumference and body fat percentage, they won't upload unless there's a gender associated. So if there's not one that was uploaded within the user file, then you can enter it in the last column there. Cottonine, all of these. So you have all of these options.
Okay, so I'm manually entering all these values in for each person.
Just onto this spreadsheet. So you can copy paste, or if you have, if users are submitting individual forms to you, I do that for some groups, and I'll just keep like a master list running.
Okay.
The nice thing is you don't have to do, users can be on multiple upload lists, and and you have an option to either send an email or not send an email. So if you have just a master file and you keep adding new people onto the bottom and uploading the same file, it'll be just fine. It'll keep things the same as they are. It'll make any updates as needed. So if that's the way you want to do things, you can do that, or you can just do everybody who's new on separate templates. But either way, it's not a huge deal. So yes, company username, and then for any of the values that you don't have, just leave the column blank, but they do need to be kept in the same order as this template. And then once you have your data entered, just like with the user file, you'll save it as a CSV file and delete these headers. So I actually have a test upload here for one of my test users. So this is what the file will look like when the data is entered and you're ready to upload. You'll have the company username, and then for this user I only have blood pressure, and it looks like glucose and there. So you can see I have my blank columns and the data ready to go, and this is saved as a CSV. So now I'm going to go over to the biometric uploader, and this is in the admin menu down at the bottom in utilities. This is biometric uploader right here. So you'll go here, select your company. I'll actually upload my test file so we can see that. And then it will show the different iterations of the PHA. When you start the first iteration, the system will automatically create an iteration 0 for historical data. And right now for the user, I can't pull up the page because I'd have to get a code, but the user sees the current data, last year's data, and the first year of data. The historical data will appear in the first year of data spot, which we'll look at in just a minute, so you can see from the user's perspective what they see. But we can add in historical data to iteration 0. And now we can select which iteration we want to overwrite data for. And typically it'll just be the current one, since that's usually what people are getting done, is the most recent biometric data. So you'll type in the current iteration, which is the present one that's open. And then we have a couple of options. So we can upload the file with the data. That's the first one. And you'll just click on, select that. And then we'll come down here and choose the file. Let me see if I can find my file. Test biometrics. I'll do this one. All right, and then we have an option to either send an email, and this email, it says your biometric data has been successfully received and uploaded. You can go here to view it, and it will direct them to the assessment and screening tab and all of that. Or, for example, if you have a template like we were talking about, a master file where you just add on people to the bottom, you probably don't want an email going out to all those people every time, so you can deselect that and submit the file. Then once you submit, it will tell you biometrics were successfully overwritten, or if there were any errors if it detects any errors within the CSV, it will let you know that in red, and you can double check your file and make any changes necessary. Now, why wouldn't it pull up? Okay, let me refresh the page. Okay. Oh, weird. Okay, let me go back. I've never tried to do 2 at once, so you probably have to go out and then back in.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. All right, so then there's another function. So you can upload a CSV file containing only, okay. So if you want to delete biometric data for specific users, you can have a CSV file with just the company usernames and upload that here, and it will remove the data for those specific users in your file. And you can opt to send them an email as well. Actually, I don't know why. Well, I don't know if we have an email created for this function. I'm not sure why you would send an email to the user telling them that their data's been removed. I've never actually used that function with the send email at once. And then the last one is to clear all biometric data for iteration 4. So this is just sort of a fail-safe. So if you upload data to the wrong iteration, say you upload historical data to the first iteration and you need to clear it out, you can use this function to clear all of the data and just wipe it clean for new data for the correct year. So
Okay.
this is more of like a just in case function for admins in case we mess up. So yeah. Any questions on the uploader? Pretty straightforward. 3 functions here.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, and again, that template is on the reseller guides page. And yes, so now let's go through the admin user side and look at the individual, how to manually enter individual biometric data.
Okay.
There. Okay, I'm gonna make a note really fast to look at the email for biometrics that are deleted.
Okay.
Okay, so we're here in user admin, and then over on the right you can see a bio function. So if I click on this, it will pull up an individual biometric page, and you can enter in all of the same data as is available in the template.
Yep.
For BMI, you can either do the BMI number, or if you have a form that only has height and weight, you can enter that in the format shown, and you can enter the units there. These refer to the columns that I deleted when I first downloaded the template, so I typically don't worry about those. There's a separate report that involves that. Blood pressure, all of the rest. And then
if we've already done this, will I see those values in there? Like if we did it through the uploader? No. Okay.
It won't automatically be entered, but if you need to make just an edit to somebody's numbers, you can come in and just upload in the field, and it will keep the rest of them the same, but upload the one that you've entered.
Okay.
So this is a nice way just to make quick edits to the page. Yeah. What else? Oh, yes, so you can email the user, and this will send them the same email as uploading the whole file. And also, I thought that this function would force register a user, but when I've used it, that hasn't been the case. So I'm not actually sure what this does. I need to check on that.
Okay.
Because the user should have to go through the registration process and choose a password.
Before this.
Yeah. Or like even if you click on this, you can't like choose a password for them. So
I'm
not sure. I need to check on that. But yeah, you can send an email, make any edits on this page. Pretty straightforward. Save. And then it will give you a success bar up there.
Okay.
Yeah, so any questions on that? Manually adding data?
Not so far.
Great. Okay. Register user. Click on that function. Okay, I think that might be. Oh, let's actually go look at the biometrics page.
Yes.
I'm going to go into this user. And then, so as you can see, it will say first year, and this is where the historical data will go.
Okay.
And then last year, and then this year.
Okay.
So if it's your first year and you upload historical data and then you have data for iteration 1, it will just show in these 2 columns rather than last year and this year.
Okay.
And during your next program year, this data will move to last year, and then you'll have a new slate for the new year's data. Let's see. So there's an info bar, and this will give users information on the ranges. And yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then so all of the data that you upload will show on this page, whether or not you have the extra values moved over from the list that we were looking at in company admin. So if you upload values for these, even though they haven't been moved over to the exceptions list, they'll show on the biometrics page, but they won't show on the report card page.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is exactly how the user sees it as well? Or is this just the ad? Okay.
Yep, this is exactly how the users see it.
Okay.
Yeah, so that exceptions list, it's only for this report card page and the aggregate report. That will a little bit later. And then the history is only for the PHA questions.
Yeah.
So all of the biometric history will show within the biometrics tab.
Okay.
Okay, I think that's it. Let me go over to the resources we have here. Oh, we have a customizable My Form sheet if this is something that you're interested in using for any of your groups. This is just something that users can download and take to their provider.
Okay.
You can enter in the information and submit it. If that's something you'd like to do. A lot of my groups do all kinds of different things. So we'll either get data straight from the screening provider, or sometimes they'll submit forms like this, or whatever works best for the group. But
Okay.
this is something that we can customize for you, or you can feel free to edit it yourself and customize it to your groups. But it's available on the Reseller Guides page.
Okay.
Just spit it out. And then I think, yeah, like I said, we have the PHA information there. Oh, we have a tobacco form. If you do any sort of tobacco affidavits or anything, we have a template there that you can use.
Okay.
And I think that's it for the resources on the Reseller Guides page. But all this is available for you. Oh man, scroll. Okay. Good. All right. Any questions on anything so far?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Yep.
Sounds good. I am just going to run and grab a drink really fast.
Yeah, go ahead.
30 seconds, and then
Yeah.
we'll go on. One
Okay.
second.
Mhm.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, no
Sometimes
problem.
during the 2-hour trainings, my voice gets so croaky.
I bet.
Good. So we've gone through the PHA biometrics. Now let's look at our emailer function. So we have an emailer scheduler, and we can schedule emails to go out at later dates. And also, for our campaigns and challenges, we have pre-set up emails that will pull and automatically schedule once you schedule campaigns and challenges, and that's the tool that we'll look at next.
Okay.
So in order to reach the emailer, we call it the emailer, but the tab to get there, it's just send emails. So anytime you hear me say emailer, I'm referring to this send emails tab right here.
Okay.
So you click on that, and it will pull up the email scheduler. So you'll select your company. It will default to show all of the emails that are scheduled to go out for all of your child companies, but typically I'll just go to the individual company to see the schedule for the specific group.
Okay.
So let me go here. Now something to note, the scheduler won't show you auto emails that go out. For example, the registration email, the PHA email,
Okay.
metric email, the screening reminder, birthday email.
Yep.
Since those are all auto emails from the system, they won't appear in the scheduler. Yeah, since they all send out at random times.
Okay.
But this is what we'll use to do the welcome email for the program launch date. This is where all of the campaign and challenge emails will appear. If you do like a monthly rewards reminder email, I'll do that for my groups, or maybe there's a monthly newsletter that you want to schedule to go out. That's what will appear in here.
Okay.
So for my test company, I don't have any scheduled right now. So we'll just you can create new emails and then edit any of the emails that you have scheduled. So if you click on create email, it will take you into the emailer page. You'll see the company that you're sending it in, and then there's many options here. So the first function is to send even if inactive, and this refers to the active button in the company admin page. If you remember, in the general tab, there's a spot where you can mark the company as active, and that means that users can log in and all of that. Yeah.
Yep.
So if you're in between program years and the company is inactive, but you still want to send a message out to the group, typically, none of the emails in the scheduler will send if the company is inactive. But if there's something that you do want to send, you can check this box to send even if inactive, and that will send it out to your company directory.
Okay.
So that's the inactive function. And then we have a few different options of who we want to send to. You can either send to the company as a whole. This will send it to the entire company directory. You can send it to users who have answered a specific PHA question a certain way. So you can target people who've reported smoking. You can target, cool. High HDL or low HDL, I guess. Any of this, you can target specific groups within your directory based on their PHA answers. So, for example, if you use the CoachGate question. Oh, are you getting a weird echo from the mic, or is it okay?
A little bit. Not too bad.
Okay. I might have to use a different mic if it keeps echoing. Anyway, so you can select a PHA question and then their different value. And this is where the key comes in, the PHA key. So you can make sure that you're targeting
the right people.
Correct group, yeah. So the PHA key will tell you the values for red, yellow, and green, or unhealthy versus healthy. And then you can select what value or what PHA response you want to target. That's great. So that's the option there. And this is really, really helpful for targeted communications. You can email all of the unregistered users. You can email all of the registered users. You can email all of the users you have designated as coordinators in their permissions box. Cool. Or you can do individuals. I'll use this function a lot for new hires, depending on the plan that I have with the groups that I'm doing. So if they send over every month, if they just send me a handful of users and I add them in manually to the user admin page, I'll just come into the emailer and type them all in and then send them the welcome email. Okay. So that's something you could use this function for. If you do incentive drawings or things where there's a winner for something specific, you can send them an email straight from the emailer here. And also, with the individual tab, it doesn't have to be somebody within the company directory. So if you want to test an email and send it to yourself from a different company than your admin user is in, you can still do that. It will say no emails match your search, but it'll still send. Okay. Got it. So you can add in I use this a lot to test emails, and I'll send it to my WellSteps email just to make sure that things are good before I actually send it out. Yeah. But otherwise, if you're typing in an email that's actually in your company, it will pull up the list and filter it down for you, and then you can just select it from the. It will comma and space, and then you can just type each email as you go and select. Okay. So really quick, really easy. So that's the send to functions there. And if you send to company, there's so many more ways to trickle it down even more. We have a lot of options for customizing communications really specifically. You can target spouses if you'd like. You can add them in. And this will be all of the spouses that were invited on the PHA and are linked to the employees, any of that. Or if you're using user categories. Oh, actually, if your spouses are designated by user category and aren't linked to the employee, then you'll need to include them using the user category tab here, which we'll talk about in just a minute. But this spouses thing will include those who were invited on the PHA specifically. Okay. They don't have, if you aren't using user categories and don't have like a spouse category, this will just recognize who was invited on the PHA and who is connected to an employee, and we'll send to those. Okay. People. So does that make sense? This is like a system designated spouse, and this user category is like an admin designated spouse that we upload the user as. So that can get kind of confusing. Let me know if you have questions there. Okay. So we can do that. If you've uploaded different locations within your user template, it will show them here on this list, and you can send to a specific location or all locations. And if you deselect all locations, for any users that don't have locations set, the email will send to them. So if you have, for example, remote employees and they don't have a location set, and you want to target all the remote employees, then you can just deselect all locations and it will send to all of the remote users that don't have a designation set.
Okay.
Health code refers to our WellSteps Plus tool, which is the outcomes-based tool that we have based on biometric values. So when we talk about WellSteps Plus, we'll talk about how to set that up, but we can designate users healthy or unhealthy based on their values. And we'll talk about this more when we talk about the tool, but you can target healthy versus unhealthy populations there. And then incomplete plan items refers to our wellness plan tool. So we'll talk about that more as well when we get to that tool, but you can also target based on that. So these two we'll come back to. You can also send to specific user categories. So for example, I have a really complicated system set up that I was helping the group with. But you can just deselect all of the ones that you don't want to send to and those, or select those that you want to send to. And then also within our rewards program, you can send to a specific prize level.
Okay.
So select that here and we'll talk. So health code, plan items, and rewards, these refer to different tools, which we'll go over soon, and then we'll come back and circle back around to the emailer. And then you can schedule the date that you want it to be sent on. You can send emails on the day of, because when you actually type your email in and save it, it will give you the option to send now. So if there are any emails that you want to send today, you'll just click on today's date, and then as soon as you can test your email and a little send now button will appear here, which we'll look at. You can also schedule for any date in the future, and the email send date, if you remember in company admin in the general tab, there's a spot where you can put the email send time and the time zone.
Yep.
Yeah, so all of this emails will send at that time that you've designated in company admin. Okay. No matter the date that you schedule it for. So you can schedule for any date in the future or today. And yeah, okay. Then we get to the actual email itself. We can either do an email or you can do a customized text message. If we're doing an email, it will give you the subject bar here. And you'll always want to select a guide that it will send from. And this guide will be what appears at the bottom of the email. There's a little notice that will appear at the bottom of all of the system emails, and it will say reply to, I can't remember specifically what it says. We'll have to look at one, but basically it says reply to this email, and it's this email if you have any questions or something like that.
Okay.
From this list, it will show all of the Bongiovanni guides here. So you can basically select any
who
of
I want to be from.
Yeah. And this is where, if you have a support email, this can come in handy. So if you have a customer service line or something where all inquiries to come into, we can set them as a guide, and you can select them from this list for all of the emails. So that comes in handy if that's something that you'd like to do.
Yeah.
So you'll select the guide and then type in your subject line. And then type in the email body. And this is where the code comes in handy, because if you type in your email, and if you have links to videos and files and images and URLs and all of that, and you want to test it to make sure it comes through okay, but you don't want to have to redo it all again, and you want to keep the formatting, you could copy and paste the email into a Word document, but then when you come back and copy it, it might pull formatting weirdly, just because the editors are funny that way. So what I typically do when I create an email and I have a bunch of formatting and it looks really nice, I'll come over to the code bar and I'll just copy and paste the HTML code into a Word document and save it.
Okay.
And that way, if I want to use the email again,
you can pull it from there.
All I have to do is copy and paste the code into here. So let me show you an example of this.
Yeah.
I kicked off with a group, and we have a really nice welcome email. And so here's an example of what I do. I have the email listed out, and I'm going to go Oh. Okay, so I have the email listed out, and then I have the code that I copied and pasted here. So I'm going to copy this, and then I'm going to paste it into the code box. And this is what I use for new users for this group. I'll just come into the emailer, I'll enter their individual emails, and then I'll copy this code, paste it. So I'm in the code tab, and I just paste. And then it will pull all of the formatting over into the box that you can edit straight from with all of your links, all of the colors.
Wow.
So it's really nice, really easy, especially for us as admins. It just makes everything really easy and simple.
Yeah. Wow. That's
So if you
nice.
put all the work in, yeah. So I do this a lot. And this will really come in handy, especially if you have recurring emails that go maybe to individual users that you just need on hand, but
Keep
you
using.
won't scheduled. Yeah. So that's a nice function to use. And I don't read code or anything like that. It's just specifically nice for formatting purposes,
Yep.
honestly. Yeah, so I'm going to save this email. And then, as you can see, it will pull up who it's sending to. And this is nice in case you have an idea of a targeted group that you want it to send to, and you can check the number up here to make sure that it looks okay.
Yep.
And then you can either force send it now, and then if you click on this, it will pop up. Well, I guess I can actually, I'll go out first and then send it. So here's what your scheduled email looks like. You'll see the subject line, who it's sending to, how many people are receiving it, and then when it's scheduled for, and then some other things here depending on your designations. You can delete any scheduled emails. You can go in and edit any scheduled emails. It will keep all of your designations the same. You just have to go down and make your edits.
Yeah.
And then once you click save, click send now, it will pop up this box, and you can come down here and see all of the successes. We also have a sent email report. It's like our sent mailbox, but this just gives you quick feedback on how successful the email send was.
Okay.
So and then if we go over here, let's see if I can. Yeah, so you as an admin will get a notice that says email was sent to this company.
Yep.
I'll tell you the subject line. And then since this sent to me, I got it. Yeah, anytime an email sends from the emailer, you as an admin will get a notice there.
Okay.
Okay, any questions on creating an email?
No, that's awesome. It's very
Perfect.
detailed. Yeah.
Yeah, so you can use any of the editor functions in here to create some really nice detailed emails. Okay, and this ties into our next tool, which is campaigns and challenges. And we have the option to customize campaigns and challenges. I think we talked about this last time, but are you planning on using the WellSteps campaigns and challenges?
Yes, at least in the beginning until I'm, more comfortable with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. So we'll go over just a brief overview of the custom building process, and then later on, if you decide to go for it, then we'll go into more depth training on our builder. But for now, we'll just look at how to use the WellSteps specific campaigns and challenges.
I think too, because I will still need to be like, as I meet with our groups and find out what their needs are and their challenges are, it'll kind of give me some more ideas as to what to create,
Okay, yeah, definitely. And the nice thing is too that you can build off of any of our currently existing campaigns and challenges. So if you want to make any tweaks to ours rather than building any from scratch, you can do that.
Oh, good. Okay.
That comes in handy too, because it's a lot of work to build up a whole campaign. Most of ours are between 5 and 8 weeks long, and it's just a lot of material to put together.
Yeah.
So it's nice if you have sort of a skeleton to work off of.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay. Before we go over how to set it up, I'll just show you the resources that we have for the campaigns and challenges so you can see what's actually available. So let's see, this is the reseller guides page. We have a campaign section. Let's see, for all of our campaigns, we have task sheets for paper users. And our campaigns are set up so that for each week, there's some tasks that users complete, and then they have some reporting. There's either some questions to answer, or they enter some data, or other things. And if you have any groups that like to use paper trackers for their population, then all of those tasks are taken straight from the website and they're put into paper forms. We have those. We have posters for all of our campaigns, as well as the design files. So you can take a look at those if posters are something you want to create for your groups. We also have something called What to Expect presentations, and this goes through an overview of the campaign for the on-site team.
Cool.
So for my groups, I'll just put these together before a campaign is starting and go over it with the on-site coordinator so that they know what's going on and what each week entails and all of that. So that's something you can use if you'd like. We also have something called campaign coordinator kits, and these are kits that we put together for our on-site groups to help them maximize or utilize the campaign most efficiently on site. So it gives ideas of things that they can do on site to sort of bring the campaign to life on site.
Yep.
So there's some things here. We have some different materials they can use. Usually I'll just present this to them with the what to expect presentation and just let them know that there's, and maybe help them brainstorm about things they can do on site.
Yes.
Increase engagement within the campaign. So that's a good resource. If you do team campaigns, we have a leaderboards page, and this will show you the team leaderboards for the company even after the campaign's over.
Okay.
So we'll talk more about that when we talk about team campaigns. Let's see. And then there's just some other things that we use at WellSteps that are available if you'd like to use them. So for example, a prize winner email, how to select from our exercise groups. We have a simple way to calculate the winner, the total winner, outside of the teams. Okay, so those are our campaigns. And then I'll also send over a link to our campaigns page. So we have this page that it lists out all of our behavior change campaigns, and usually I'll bring this up within the implementation and planning process with my groups just so they can see what we have available. So this is something that will probably come in handy for you as well. We have them listed out by category, and you can click on each of the titles for a more just a summary of what the campaign entails, some testimonials. And then the what to expect presentations go way more in depth. This is just sort of a summary or just an overview of the campaigns. But here you can see all of the ones we have listed out, and the asterisk campaigns are team campaigns. So Veggie Up, Rethink Your Drink.
Now the what to expect videos, is that something that you share with the all the participants or just with the coordinators?
Usually just with the coordinators.
And then can they share those with their staff if they wanted to? Okay.
Yeah, well, you could even do, if you wanted to create a little introduction video for a whole company, you could use the slides and just do a little
presentation.
Yeah. So typically I'll just do it with the coordinators, but if they want it to be for, a whole committee or the whole company even, then you could do that. The week before each of our campaigns and challenges, there's an invite email that goes out, and there's a little invitation video that we put together. So there is something already for the users. The what to expect presentation is more, it's a little bit more planning oriented. So there's some slides in there that will go over the campaign coordinator kit, any incentives that you're planning on using. So it's more, I guess it is a little bit more on the admin side of things for you and the on-site team. But the users do have an introduction still the week before the campaign or challenge is scheduled to run. And you can, once we look at how to schedule these, you can schedule any of them and test them out for yourself and get the emails and see how we present all the information. But yeah, so here's the list. I'll send this URL over to you so that you can take a closer look at this. That's the campaigns page. And then our 2-week challenges, we're actually in the transition phase. We're rolling out soon some individualized challenges so that users will be able to challenge other people within their company to do just a group challenge. And we're going to call those challenges, and then our 2-week challenges we're starting to call mini campaigns. So I might be using both of the terms as we go through, but just know that 2-week challenges and mini campaigns are the same thing. They're just 2 weeks long, and the challenges focus on one specific task. Well, the campaigns are they're more comprehensive. There's more tasks to do. The challenge is focused specifically on tracking a single task for 2 weeks.
Okay.
No, I need a
So
signature.
this challenges page is on the reseller guides page, and I'll go back to where I found it. In just a second.
Okay.
Just like the campaigns, we have them all listed out by category. You can see the title and then the description over here. So this is a resource that I send to
Yeah, you can email it back. Email it back. It's not a rush.
contact as well. Just it gives them.
Send it back when you get it.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Sean. I appreciate it. All right.
So this is on the reseller guides page under challenges and quizios, and then quizios are there's not really a timeline involved with quizios. They can be done in 5 to 10 minutes, where the campaigns and challenges are week-long activities. But these are just short videos. They're usually between, I don't know, 4 and 7 minutes long. They're all under 10 minutes, I think. And then there's a few questions associated with the video. So these are more educational. There's not really a task associated with the quizios. They're just nice materials to provide to the users.
So would you send one of these out to like a specific population, like through the email?
You could, yeah. So you could make specific ones available. For example, we have different biometric educational quizios, and a lot of groups will use these as sort of alternative standards if people don't meet the healthy value requirements. Then we'll say, well, complete this quizio or another resource in order to earn points or whatever the system program setup is. Yeah, so as you can see down here, we have the different biometric education quizios, and we have some of the quizios were pulled and created from some of our campaigns. So we have a Resilient You campaign, and these 4 quizios were pulled from that. The asterisked quizios were pulled from our therapeutic lifestyle change program and just sort of broken down into short quizios.
Okay.
And TLC is it's the 17 module lifestyle change program about exercise and healthy eating. And it's a really in-depth program, specifically targeting unhealthy populations and helping them transition to a healthy population. So these are just smaller sort of demos of TLC.
Okay.
A lot of times, if a group doesn't want to start out offering the whole TLC program, we'll just start out with a couple of quizios to get people interested and to show them what the video style is like. TLC is a great program. We'll look at that when we schedule campaigns. And then we just have a few different ones here. So lots of quizios available. And then campaigns and challenges. So these are all things that WellSteps has already provided that you're welcome to use. I think all of them have been white labeled at this point. We used to have the WellSteps logo, but I think they've all been removed now. We'll have to double check the emails that are scheduled, but I think everything's good. So, okay. So those are campaigns, challenges, and quizios. Now let's look at how to schedule these on the user side of things. So to actually turn on the campaign icon, let me go over to my test company here. Okay, so we've turned on assessment and screening. Now we're going to turn on the campaigns icon, and we'll do this in company admin, just like all of the other tools. And I'm going to turn this on for your parent company. And there's actually not that much to do in company admin besides turning on the icon.
Yeah.
So I'll click that, and then if you expand the tab, some of our campaigns and challenges have midweek emails with certain tips or a reminder about something that's specific to the campaign.
Those automatic, or are those scheduled by me?
They're automatic. Well, they're automatically scheduled when you schedule the campaign.
Okay.
Yeah. But if you only want one email a week, so with the campaigns and challenges, there's one email a week. It goes out on Mondays. And then the week before it's supposed to run, there's an invite email that will be sent out on the Tuesday before. And then with the campaigns, there's also a 3-month follow-up email, and those are all automatically scheduled.
Okay, great.
So just depending on which one you have scheduled, most of them don't have midweek emails, but some of them do. But if you know your groups they only like one email a week or something, and you want to disable those midweek ones, you can click that box. And then for any of our team campaigns, which I'll send you a list of the team campaigns since I thought that they were all designated here, but I don't know if they are. So I'm going to send you a complete list of.
Okay. Just a quick question on the midweek emails. So if we choose to disable them, does that mean that they don't ever receive that information from those emails?
Right. So they won't receive, but they're not. They're more just like supplemental information. Okay. None of the midweek emails have like vital things.
Yeah.
For example, I think in the stress-free campaign, one of the weeks has every day of the week there's like a stress relieving tip or trick. Yes. Yeah. So it's not essential. It's just sort of supplemental.
Okay.
That gets sent. But some people some groups are sticklers on how many emails can be sent, and they don't want too much communication coming from us. So
yeah,
this is just an option to sort of customize the communications a little bit more.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And then with team campaigns, this is where we'll actually set up the teams. So we'll come back to this after we go through scheduling.
Okay.
So this is where we'll set them up. Okay. So that's turning on the icon. And now, if we go to the admin menu down in Wellness, we'll have the Build Campaigns, and this is the Custom Campaign Builder, which I'm not sure if we'll have time to get to today, but this is where we'll do any customization if you want to build off of any of the WellSteps campaigns or create your own.
Okay.
So to actually schedule the WellSteps campaign, you'll go to Manage Campaigns, which is the second tab. And if you click here, it will take you to the Campaign and Challenge Scheduler. So I'm going to go to my test company, select a company from the dropdown, and then we have a couple of options. Once you actually schedule campaigns, you can designate to show only those that are currently running. And it will show, as you can see here, it shows previously running campaigns. Yeah, it will say expired, and then eventually it will prompt you to delete the really old ones. Mm-hmm. You can also see what campaigns are starting next week. Okay. So let's go through how to schedule each of the different materials that we have, starting with campaigns. So you'll click on Add Campaign, and then we have a really big list here, but the designator is always first, followed by the title of whatever it is. So these are all custom. You won't see these in your list.
Okay.
It will start for you at WellSteps right here.
Okay.
So you'll see these, and we're in the process of translating into Spanish a lot of our all of our campaigns and challenges, and the ones that have been successfully translated so far will appear up here with the language tags. Okay. And you won't have to worry about the language tags showing on any of the user side. This is just for the back-end purposes. So you can still, of course, use any of these even if you don't have any Spanish groups or anything. But just know if you can't find your campaign in the list down here, that's probably because it's up here.
Okay.
They got moved out of alphabetical order when we added the language tags. So you'll simply select the campaign you want to schedule, and it will show you how many weeks long it is. So let's say I want to do the holiday campaign, which is Maintain Don't Gain. This one was developed specifically around the holiday season. So we have a specific start date for each year if your groups want to use it. And then we can also set campaigns for different locations. So if you only want a campaign to show for those who are at a specific location, you can designate that here. Health group refers to our WellSteps Plus tool, which is the healthier or unhealthy
groups. Yeah.
Groups, yeah. And then emails. This refers to the emails that are automatically scheduled when you schedule the campaign. Just having standard here will schedule all the standard emails. If you select custom, none of the WellSteps emails for that campaign will be scheduled, and you can create your own.
Okay.
But just to save work on your part, I would always do standard, and then you can just edit it as needed, so you have a basis to work off of.
Okay.
But just so you know, those are what those two options are. And then within each of the emails that we have, there's an optional line. If there's an incentive that's associated with your campaign, for example, if users could win a gift card, you can type that incentive into the box, and it will be entered into the email when it's sent.
Okay.
For example, you could say you could win a gift card and then that line will be entered into the email. So it's just another way to give users a little,
Awesome.
the prize for doing this, or you could win rewards points for doing this, etc.
Yep.
And then with this campaign number, this is helpful for the WellSteps guides because with each of our different solutions, there's a different number of campaigns that are available depending on what the client, what solution they've purchased. So it's really for our backend purposes based on the solutions. It doesn't really matter what number you selected it as, and you can actually designate every campaign that you schedule as number 1 if you want. But when you're scheduling a campaign, you have to select a number or you can't save it. So just know this, it doesn't make a difference.
Have to go in order. Right.
Yeah, it's really only for us at WellSteps to keep track of how many campaigns the client has done in the current program year. So just a note there, you can always select campaign number 1 for your campaigns unless you want to keep track of what campaign number they're on.
Okay.
And then we get to the actual scheduling part after all that. So you can schedule, and all of our campaigns run on a weekly basis. So they're all set to start on a Monday. So just make sure that you select a Monday as your start date, and then it will autofill based on the number of weeks of the campaign. It will autofill the end date. I do have some groups, and all of our campaigns and challenges have an extra week at the end for evaluation and for catch-up.
Got it.
So the 2-week challenges are actually scheduled for 3 weeks, and the last week is just sort of a catch-up,
Nice.
evaluation week essentially.
Yeah.
And some of my groups like to have extra time at the end of campaigns. So if you want to extend the date, you can click on the end date and extend it out as far as you'd like. This won't add any more material to it. It will just keep it open longer so the users can go back and enter data that they missed, or they just have more time to report.
Okay.
Otherwise, you can just keep it as is. A lot of my groups just like the 1 week and it works for them, but some people need extra time. Yes, so if you want to test a campaign and see all of the weeks at once, well, actually, let me schedule this so you can see how it looks for the users. So this is scheduled for the 24th. And then I have TLC scheduled, and this actually, it runs through a different icon, so these can be overlapping. But only one campaign or challenge can run at a time, so that's why we have this overlapping notice.
Got it.
So that's a little confusing. We'll talk about that more in a minute, but here's my scheduled campaign. Now I have some options. I can delete the scheduled campaign. I can archive it once it's complete. And the archive function is helpful for the end of a program year. We have an archived campaigns report, and that just gives you a list of all the campaigns you've already done. And it just helps for planning for the next year so that you don't repeat any campaigns or challenges. It's just basically a history list of what you've done.
Yep.
So the archive function will just remove it from your list here and keep things clean, but it will stay in the report. And then you can also go in and change the date. So once you schedule a campaign, because it pulls the emails, and as you can see, we have all of the emails for this campaign that have been pulled, and they'll also appear in the emailer now as well. But because the emails were pulled, you can't actually go in and edit the campaign because the emailer won't automatically delete the emails and change them in that case. In order to change the campaign, you'd have to delete this one and then just schedule the new one, and then it will correctly pull the emails.
Okay.
So if you want to edit anything, you can come in here and edit who it's showing for, the incentive thing, and the start and end date. So that's what can be edited once you've actually made your selection up here.
Yep.
And then you can see the start and end dates, you can see how long it is, and then you can look at the email IDs. So there's a couple of different ways to get to the emails. Yeah, we'll go through this and then we'll look from the user side. Okay, so if you click on the email ID, it will take you into the emailer. You'll see the date that it's scheduled to send for, the subject line, and then you can scroll down and look at the email body. So this is an example of our invitation emails. For a lot of them, we just have a video that users will click on, and it will take them to somebody talking about the campaign and what they can do and all that.
Okay.
And then most of our campaign emails also have a text message and a push notification. And you can see those down here and edit them as you'd like. So if you schedule a campaign and you come in and want to make any edits to what we already have, you can do that. You can make any edits as needed and then click save and it will save your changes there. Yes, and you can go down the list in the email or in the campaign scheduler in that email ID tab or column, or you can go to if I go back, I don't know if it'll take me to the emailer or to the campaigns. Okay, so this takes me to the campaigns page. But if we go to the emailer, you would see all of these emails scheduled, and you can go in the same way there and edit the emails there.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. Does that all make sense about the emails?
I think so. I'm going to rewatch it to make sure. But
Okay,
I think
we'll look at the emailer in just a second so you can see what they look like when they're scheduled.
Okay.
This is what appears for the users when there's something that's scheduled but there's nothing currently running. There's always just a notice about what's coming up. And for some of the campaigns, there's a more in-depth description of what it is that the campaign is. Some of them it just says, join us on the start date for the campaign.
Okay.
So now let's go. I'm going to go to the emailer and then we'll come back and I'll show you something else. Okay. So you could see in the email ID column back on the campaign scheduler page that you can see all of the email IDs. But if we go to the emailer, now you'll see here all of these emails that have been scheduled automatically. So we have the start of next week email and then one email for each week.
Okay.
And then review tips. This is the 3-month review email, and this one was scheduled for
Now
May.
these are all the ones that are automatically scheduled with the campaign.
Okay. Yeah. And so you can go in and look at any of these. You can make any edits and save them. You can delete any that you don't want to be sent. So the nice thing is they're automatically scheduled for you, but you don't have to use all of the material that we've provided. You can customize it to fit your needs. Yeah. Okay. So to edit, you just click on the editor. It'll take you in and you can read
the
email. Oh, and I forgot to mention with the emailer, we have a bunch of macros that you can use. So for example, you'll see here we have the first name one, and this will just enter in the first name. So as you're creating custom emails, we have a whole list right here of macros that you can use. For example, first name, last name, you can enter in the username, you can enter in their company username, and this is the one that you designate, and this is the one that the user chooses when they register. Some rewards macros, which we'll look at when we talk about rewards. You can enter in the email that we have on file for them. So these are just things, if you enter it in just as it is here and send it out, they'll autofill with the user's information.
Oh, wow.
So you can see that here we use first name, and when this sends out, it will enter the
It will automatically put the person's name there?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's super nice. Something to note, though, is if you send a test email to yourself in a different company and your admin user is not in that company, then the macros won't work. And so that's why it's nice to have a test user in a company with a separate email so that you make sure that the macros work and that everything looks good. But, so it's a nice way to customize an email and tailor it to the individual.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. A lot of our emails will have a go button, and it will take the user directly into their program center by passing the login. Yeah. And so in that case, there's a notice for all of these emails that have the go bar. There's a notice that says, do not forward this email. Contact your administrator with the guide's email that's selected here with any questions.
Okay.
Just so you know, a lot of our campaigns do go straight into the portal. So if you were to forward the email to someone, it would take that person into the recipient's
portal.
Center. Yeah.
Okay.
So, to note. Yep, and then we got the text message, push notification for the app, and all of that. So you can make any edits here that you want. Save, close, all of that.
Now, can you choose, the emails the automatic emails that go out with the campaigns, can you choose to do those in text message as well?
Yes. Wait, so are you talking about these emails right here?
Yeah. Yep.
Yes. So with all of these emails, there's an email, there's a text, and there's a push notification.
Oh, beautiful.
Yes, but something to note is that if a user has the app, it
Yep.
will send, if they have an app and they have a phone number on file, it won't send them both a text and a push notification. It will just send them the push if they have their
Okay.
notification on. If they don't have the app with notifications enabled, but they do have a phone number, it will just send them the text. So
Okay.
it won't send users both. It won't like bombard them with
That's good.
with all of the
Yeah.
together. Yeah. Yeah. So we have these already created. If you want to send out any extra, like an extra text message reminder. So for example, for any of the campaigns that have midweek emails, if you don't want to do a midweek email, but maybe want to do a midweek text,
Right.
come in here and create a text. You just select text here in the type.
Yep.
And then you'll use the tabs or the tags that we have. So I'll send this to you in the email, how to set up the text.
So I can have that midweek email instead of going to their email. It can be the same exact information, but can come through a text message.
Yeah.
Okay.
You would have to come in to the emailer and modify it so that it would send as a text, because
Yep.
otherwise it would send as an email. Yeah. But yes, yeah, you can do that.
Okay.
Test text, and then you do the close SMS bracket. So I'll send these to you, but basically all you'll need is the open text bracket and then the close text bracket. And only this text that's in between those two will send as the text.
Okay.
And then it's the same thing for the push notification. So you do push, close, and then the text that you want there, and then close, push.
Okay.
So I'll send this to you, but that's how you set these up.
Okay.
And then the character counts, I think we do 90 for the push notifications and 120 for the text messages, just as a general guideline for how short they should be. Yes, so I'll send that to you in a follow-up email. Does that all make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
Good. Okay. So let's go back to the campaign scheduler and manage campaigns, and I'll show you what the user sees when a campaign is actually running. Okay, so I'm going to change the dates here, and this is how you can test campaigns. If there are any that you want to see, if you want to view the campaign as a whole, usually for users, they can only see the week that they're in. They can't go forward to see future weeks.
Yep.
So if as an admin, you want to see every week in one day, you can just schedule the campaign to start in the past.
Right. Got it.
And unless you've changed this, oh, I think it did automatically update actually. So you can change the date, and I'm going to go back so we can see all of the weeks.
But this is just what I would see, right? The users wouldn't change the dates for them as well?
So it would change the dates for them, which is why we have test companies. So
Okay.
if you want to test any campaigns, just do it in your test company.
Got it.
But you can change up the dates here so that you can see everything. So this is my test company. None of the users in my other groups are going to see this, of course.
Yeah.
So now I've updated the dates, and now I'm going to go. Yeah, so this is where test companies come in handy, because you can test everything. It doesn't affect any users other than your own users. So now you can see we have each of the weeks, and it defaults on the last week since the campaign's almost over based on what I've scheduled.
Okay.
And now we can go through, and you can just look at each week. You can watch the videos. You can see
cool.
what information we have. So the layout that we have for all of our campaigns and challenges, like I was saying, was the tasks here. A lot of times there's a video to watch. You just click on it. Okay. Oh, what happened? Let me refresh the page. Anyway, there's some tasks, some questions, and then we have some above and beyond activities for a lot of our campaigns that will show after the submit button.
Awesome.
So you can look at each week, see what we have, and then there's a team room for the team campaigns. A lot of them are in the format of a graph. You'll see your total, the company's total, your team's total, the leaderboard. The Move It Coast to Coast campaign is really cool. We have a map of the U.S. and you can see your team's there's a little man running icon that you can see, and he progresses along the map. So that one's really cool. And
can you see the other teams as well?
Uh-huh.
Oh, nice.
Yep, so you can hover over it. That might be a fun one for you to test actually, and you can create some teams and enter data for your teams and see the So yeah, the team room's a really cool feature. Anyway, that's how I usually test campaigns. If I'm setting up one that I'm unfamiliar with, I'll just set up a test in my test company and go through and make sure that I know what's going on and what all the emails say and everything and how it all works. And then in the actual company, I'll schedule it for the correct dates.
Yep.
But that's a good way to test. All right, so now we have a campaign scheduled, and now we'll go through and do the same thing for a challenge. So like I said, it will start with the campaigns at the top of the list, and then if you keep scrolling down, you'll see the team campaigns.
Mm-hmm.
There are some campaigns that can be done individually and as a team, and
Okay.
these WellSteps teams, these are ones that can be done individually or as a team. But for example, Move It Coast to Coast was built as a team campaign, so it can't be done individually, which is why it isn't listed down there. So we have campaigns, and then we have WellSteps TWC. This stands for 2-week challenge.
Okay.
And then you can choose any of these. And like I said before, they are actually scheduled for 3 weeks because they have that extra evaluation week.
But they're actually 2 weeks long.
Right.
Okay.
So the user will only have the option.
The material provided is 2 weeks.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep. But it's open for 3 weeks. And actually, the final week of the campaign, the evaluation week, it will just give a few prompts for the user to say if they completed everything. And then once you submit, it will pop up. Oh, I have to do one more.
Okay.
It will open an evaluation bar.
Mm-hmm.
And we have some standard questions. So just feedback on the campaign for us on the back end. So that's what the last week is used for.
Okay.
Use that and to make sure the users have all their data entered. So you can choose your 2-week challenge. And then the 2-week challenges, there's 4 emails. So there's a week before, one for each of the 2 weeks, and then the final 3rd week just to make sure that it's just a follow-up email.
Okay. So there's no midweek emails for these. Okay.
Exactly. Same thing here. You can do an incentive.
Mm-hmm.
You don't actually have to choose a campaign number for the challenges, and then you choose your start date.
Okay.
And you can extend the date as needed here as well. And this asks if I can overlap with TLC, which you can. And that's because TLC actually runs through, when you schedule it, it turns on its own icon.
Oh.
And that's why you can have them both running at once. So this is what TLC looks like. We have, it separates up the modules by into parts, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And it allows the user to complete them sequentially. You can continue where you left off. We have TLC resources here. So this can be run.
Oh, go ahead.
So this can be run at the same time as campaigns and challenges. In the campaigns tab, this is where the campaigns and challenges actually appear, and you can only have one running at a time.
Okay. Now the TLC, I mean, that doesn't have a start and an end date. That just kind of runs continuously.
Right. So for a lot of my groups, I'll have it open all year, and users can complete it at their own pace.
Mm-hmm.
For example, I think since it's 17 modules, when you schedule it, it automatically will pull for 17 weeks, but you can extend the date out. So if we look in here, actually, I'll just pull it up in the scheduler.
You usually use that like as a way for them to like earn points or like things like that?
Yeah, it's a pretty new tool. So for my groups, for a lot of them, they just sort of had it available in the program.
As a nice resource.
Yeah, just as an extra resource, but it is something that I think we'll be incorporating to the rewards programs in the future, and it's definitely something that's good as an alternative standard if you have groups that are doing outcomes-based things, or if they need a really comprehensive program to be available for their unhealthy population. Mm-hmm. That's definitely what it was. That's what it was built for, essentially.
Okay.
It was just for an intervention. Okay, and to get there, it's actually counted as a module, so it'll be below the 2-week challenges.
Okay.
Let's see, down here in module, so it'll say therapeutic lifestyle change. So you click on that, and then I want it to run. So it will schedule for 17 weeks, but for most of my groups, we have it open for the whole program year, just for those who want to complete it. You can schedule this out as long as you want. Save. Okay, Okay, a couple more notes. I think we'll have to do Quizios next time, but one more note on campaigns. Some of our campaigns refer to materials, and based on the solution that our clients purchase, sometimes we will send them materials on site for the different campaigns depending on what they are.
Okay.
And so that's something like we could provide that to you if you're going to be sending materials to your groups. I think, I'm not sure, none of my resellers have actually used our material, so I'll have to check on that if that's something that you are interested in.
Can you give me an example of what that would be?
So for Veggie Up,
Yep.
we have a cutting board, a WellSteps cutting board that we'll send out to the groups that receive materials. And in the first week of Veggie Up, it will say, get your WellSteps cutting board from your coordinator. For groups that don't receive materials, we'll use the online version, and it will remove that line so that it won't reference that.
Got it.
So if you come down here and look at the list, if these are any that you're looking at doing and you don't want to use materials for those, just schedule the online version, and it will take out any mention of materials from there.
Okay.
Okay, I think that will be good for today. So we went over campaigns, how to schedule those, what they look like for the user, 2-week challenges, and therapeutic lifestyle change. So we'll start off next time with Quizios, which was the only one we didn't get to today.
Okay.
Oh, and you can see the campaign number here. Okay, so any questions so far on the email scheduler? How are you feeling about everything so far?
It's definitely overwhelming, but it's like it all makes sense when you explain it to me and show it to me, so I know it's just a matter of using it and getting in there and, you know, building it myself. But because it all makes very good sense.
Okay,
So
good. I'm glad. Okay, so for this week, before our next session, I would recommend looking at the landing page.
yeah.
Uploading some test biometrics.
Mm-hmm.
Playing around with the emailer if you have some time, and then scheduling a campaign or challenge or two in your test company. So that's what I would do for this week. Just get in there and play around with it a little bit.
Okay.
And then next time we will continue on with the scheduler. I'm going to highlight this stuff that we didn't get to. And I don't know if this is applicable anymore, but okay. Great.
Perfect.
So any other questions on today?
No,
or
thank you so
much. Would like
much.
to review for next time that I can put on the list?
No, I mean, I'm good. I'm just going to re-go through all this again before we meet. So.
All right. Sounds good.
Right.
Would you like to do something else this week, or should we look at maybe early next week to do the next?
Probably early next week would be better.
Do you know what your schedule's looking like already?
Well, I know early next week I'm not available during the day. What's the latest you will ever do a training? Your time.
I teach fitness classes Mountain Time between 5:30 and 7 or 8, which is what's that, 7:30? So probably 7:30 Eastern would be the latest I could end a training.
Okay, at 7:30 p.m.
Yeah, 7:30 p.m.
Okay, because I can do like a 5 or 5:30 or something like that Eastern time.
Okay. Yeah, we could do a 5 next Monday or Tuesday.
Okay.
Oh, see, Monday I think would work better for me if we did an evening one.
Okay, let me just I just have to coordinate with my husband's schedule and make sure that he can take the kids during that.
Okay, sounds good. Just keep me posted. I'm pretty open. Otherwise, like Wednesday through Friday, if one of those days would work better. But
okay, I definitely will be either Thursday or Friday. I'll also be available all day, both days. So I'll let you know which day that's going to be too. So maybe we can fit 2 in next week.
Okay, sounds good. I will send a follow-up email with a few materials, and we'll get something set up for next week.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Isabel. You're awesome.
Oh, thanks, Nikki. Have a great week, and I will talk to you soon.
You too. Thank you.
All right, thanks. Bye.
Bye.